Condoleezza Rice breaks her silence. CNN tonight, 9 Eastern on Piers Morgan.
Joining me to talk about the role of religion in 2012, Gary Bauer, president of American Values and a former Republican presidential candidate, and Reverend Jim Wallis, president and CEO of the Sojourners. Thank you both for coming.
Thank you.
Let me start out with Herman Cain. I was interested in something in the Des Moines Register on Saturday. This is from a Cain supporter, a self-described born-again Christian, who said of Cain, "I feel like every one of the candidates, we can probably find some skeleton in their little closet. And you know what? We make mistakes. It doesn't bug me." From the point of view of a Republican Christian conservative, did anything you hear about, not the anonymity of the sources, that I understand, but did anything you hear, were it true, bother you in terms of this guy should be our presidential candidate?
Look, Candy, I think Americans are fair, whether they're evangelicals or Catholics or people of no faith. And I'm not going to brush off the anonymity point because I think that's central to this. We don't know exactly what he has allegedly done, and we don't have the names of any of the accusers. So I'm not surprised at all that it hasn't moved his support, and it certainly hasn't changed my opinion of him. I hope we don't get to a point in this country where anonymous allegations can ruin a decent man's career. I don't think we are, and I hope we never get there.
Reverend Wallis, do you think that things like this speak to a society, or do they speak to, let's pretend Herman Cain's name is not on this, because there have been plenty of people, right and left, Democrat and Republican, who have stumbled into either, extramarital affairs, and that they've stumbled on the campaign trail over this, or things like sexual harassment in the workplace. Bob Packwood comes to mind. Are those things a sign of a culture or of religious values?
I think personal integrity is connected to public leadership. We both would agree with that. The real issue here, beyond Cain, is what a candidate's moral compass is and how that shapes their policy views. And for people of faith, we have to bring our moral compass into this election. And many of us would raise issues like in your last segment here. I mean, a budget is a moral document, and many of us are saying that. And so when you're going to cut next week 1 million vaccinations for kids and 14 million people who are hungry going to have their money cut when subsidies for oil companies continue, that for me is a moral compass issue. So a lot of particularly younger evangelicals are going to say how the poor and vulnerable are treated, undocumented immigrants, how they fare in deficit reduction. Deficits are moral issues. You were raising that. But how you reduce them is a moral issue, too. So moral compass is important. The environment, the creation care is important. This afternoon, I'll be going down to the White House, 15,000 people, about a pipeline with dirty oil that could increase climate change. Those are the issues that a number of people of faith are going to raise in this election because they're about our moral compass. We want to hold both sides accountable to those values questions.
Gary, I want to get your response to that, but I want to bring this in only because it speaks to what Reverend Wallis is talking about. And this is from President Obama speaking at a private DNC event where he said, "This is a contest of values. This is a choice about who we are and what we stand for. And whoever wins this next election is going to set the template for this country for a long time to come." When you talk to Democrats about the role of spirituality or religion or morals in a campaign, they do tend to talk about things like, is it moral to give big oil giant tax cuts and then cut Medicare or Medicaid? When Republicans talk about, what moves their vote, what moves the religious vote, the Republican Party tends to be things like abortion, stem cell research. Is there a commonality here at all?
Well, look, I think Jim would readily admit that he's aligned with the religious left. He's going to vote for Barack Obama no matter who the Republicans nominate. I'm a religious conservative. I'm going to vote overwhelmingly likely for whatever the Republican nominee is. We have great disagreements about the moral definitions or implications of all of these issues. I look at that pipeline, for example, and I see the opportunity for 30,000 Americans that don't have jobs and can't provide for their families to have a job if that pipeline is built. I see that as a moral issue, that our government policies ought to produce